Over the past 30 years, mythical Pokemon have been distributed pretty much exclusively through special limited time events. However, today you can get every mythical Pokemon right now. Today, I'm going to show you how to get every mythical Pokemon in 2026. Okay, before we begin, if you're watching this the week that this video drops, this weekend, March 7th through the 9th, Pokemon Go is having their 10-year anniversary all-out event. So that means every Pokemon that has ever been in raids is going to be in raids again. So in terms of mythical Pokemon, it's going to be Deoxys, Darkrai, and Genesect. Pretty sure they're all shiny huntable as well. So let's start March 7th from 10 a.m. to March 9th at 8 p.m. local time. Don't worry, this list isn't going to be like all Pokemon Go, but if you're not a Go player, I highly suggest downloading the game because there are actually a lot of mythical Pokemon that you can get by playing Pokemon Go. Alright, so let's get started with this list. We're going to go in Dex order. So Generation 1, that's going to be Mew. You can get Mew a number of ways. First off is if you somehow manage to get your hands on a Pokeball Plus. They used to be sold in stores. I haven't seen them in stores for quite a while. But it's an accessory that came with Pokemon Let's Go, Pikachu, and Eevee. You can use it as like a controller and stuff. And you could also connect it to Pokemon Go and use it that way. But it comes with a Mew. They're on eBay right now. It looks like for like 45 to 70. This one's going for 160. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, so if you got some extra money laying around, I guess you can do that. But if that's not your jam, Mew is also available in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. If you have Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee save data on your Switch, you can talk to this old couple here and they will give you Mew. You don't have to beat the game or anything. Just right off the bat, you could have a Mew. Pretty early in the game too. Now, another way to get Mew is by playing Pokemon Go, by completing a mythical discovery special research, which you unlock after level 15. Now, this last method, it's not confirmed, but we got Fire Red and Leaf Green ports. If we get Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald ports, maybe they'll give us like the Faraway Island event. So we can get a Mew in Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald if we do end up getting like the rest of the Gen 3 ports. For Gen 2, we got Celebi. There are 3 different ways to get Celebi, 2 of which would require Pokemon Bank. So you can get Celebi in the Virtual Console version of Crystal on the 3DS. You have to beat the game, and then you can encounter Celebi in the Ilex Forest. You can then transfer into Bank and then into Home, but that requires you having a 3DS and having Pokemon Bank. The eShop is unfortunately closed, so if you don't have Bank, there's no official way to get Bank right now. Likewise, you can get Celebi if you happen to have a Japanese copy of Pokemon Colosseum and a Japanese copy of the Pokemon Colosseum bonus disc. This one's like a little more niche. This one's a little more like probably expensive too, but you can get Celebi in the Japanese version of the Pokemon Colosseum bonus disc. And then you can then transfer it into a Gen 3 game and then move it all the way up into Home. Again, you're gonna have to have Pokemon Bank though. If you don't have Bank or any of that, you still can get Celebi again by playing Pokemon Go. This is by completing the A Ripple in Time special research, which unlocks after you finish part 6 of the A Mythical Discovery research for Mew. Celebi right now is probably like one of the hardest ones to get. Alright, moving on to Gen 3, we have Jirachi. So like Mew, if you talk to this old couple while you have Sword and Shield save data on your Switch, this couple will give you Jirachi. So again, you can pretty much start off the game with a Jirachi, because this couple's like pretty early on in the game. And like Celebi, if you have the Colosseum bonus disc, like the international, like the not Japanese version, you can then get Jirachi that way, and you can trade it all the way up to Home. Also, side note, the Jirachi and the Celebi are shiny huntable. And then the last way to get Jirachi right now in 2026, you guessed it, Pokemon Go, after completing the 1,000 Years Slumber, which you need to complete part 6 of A Ripple in Time, which is the Celebi one. So you need to do the Mew, you need to get to part 6 of the Mew one, then you need to get to part 6 of the Celebi one, and then you can access the Jirachi special research. Alright, our second Gen 3 mythical is going to be Deoxys. Hey, real quick, if you love Pokemon, anime, video games, all that nerdy stuff, then you should join the Goon Squad Discord server. It's a chill, inclusive space where nerds like us can talk about video games, share hot takes, and just have fun. You belong here. Link is in the description. Now back to the video. So like I said earlier, this weekend, Deoxys is available in Pokemon Go raids. Deoxys is also, rotated in and out of Pokemon Go raids kind of frequently, I feel like. Deoxys and Genesect, they like love throwing those mythicals in Pokemon Go raids. However, if you do have a 3DS and Pokemon Bank, Deoxys is available in Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire through the Delta episode. This is like the post game. Really cool, actually. One of my favorite like things from Pokemon ever. You can catch Deoxys, transfer it to Bank, and then into home. Right now, you can get Deoxys on your Switch without having to go through Pokemon Bank or any of that, because last week, during Pokemon Day, we got the re-release of Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green. After completing Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green, after beating the Elite Four, you get access to the Aurora ticket, and using the Aurora ticket lets you encounter Deoxys. And because Shiny Locks didn't exist in Gen 3, this Deoxys is Shiny Huntable. If you're playing Fire Red, you will encounter the attack form, and if you're playing Leaf Green, you will encounter the worst one. So for Gen 4, we have Phione. We have Phione and Manaphy. You can catch them doing the same exact thing. So in Pokemon Legends Arceus, if you have a Mantike, Overquill, and a Weasel in your party and go to this area in the Cobalt Coastlands, this cave will have Phione and a Manaphy in it. There's also something with like Pokemon Ranger and getting like a Manaphy egg or something. That is like way too convoluted. I figured this Pokemon Legends Arceus was like the way easier way, so I kind of like excluded like the Pokemon Ranger thing. Plus, it's like comes from like a spin-off. You can also get yourself a shiny Manaphy by completing the Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl Pokedexes in home. Again, I made a video on how to do that if you have no one to trade with and if you only have one version of the game. Again, I'll leave a link to that in the description of this video. Also, in Pokemon Legends Arceus, you can capture Darkrai. After beating Brilliant Diamond or Shining Pearl, you could obtain the Darkstorm Nightmare quest in Pokemon Legends Arceus, and this will let you battle and capture Darkrai. Darkrai is also available at the end of the Pokemon Legends ZA Mega Dimensions DLC. You have to go through the main story of Legends ZA, and then you have to go through the main story of the DLC. So getting these Pokemon is... They've always made getting these Pokemon really hard. Next up, we have Shaymin. Shaymin is also, yet again, available in Pokemon Legends Arceus after you beat Pokemon Sword and Shield. It's also available in Pokemon Go by completing the Grass and Gratitude special research. Also, I didn't mention this earlier, but all of like the special research, like the Pokemon Go special research to get these mythicals are obtainable pretty much right off the bat. I mean, aside from the ones where you have to like complete certain steps to unlock them, like if you start like a new account today, right now, you will be able to start the Shaymin and the Mew Pokemon Go research. All right, after Shaymin, we have Arceus. Arceus is available in, that's right, you guessed it, Pokemon Legends Arceus. Whoa! To get Arceus in Pokemon Legends Arceus, you have to complete the Pokedex, and then you have to fight Arceus, and then you can catch it. It's also available in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, but it's not available until you beat Pokemon Legends Arceus. So you need to catch Arceus in Legends Arceus to encounter Arceus in BDSP. But the trade-off is it's shiny huntable in BDSP. Alright, so that was a lot, yeah. Gen 4 has a lot of mythical Pokemon. That was all in Gen 4. So next up we have Gen 5. Victini. So Victini right now is like, they like love gatekeeping Victini. Right now, the only way to get Victini is through Pokemon Go. It is the only way by completing the Investigate a Mysterious Energy research, which unlocks after part 5 of 1,000-Year Slumber. So you gotta do part 6 of Mew, you gotta do part 6 of Celebi, then you gotta do part 6 of Jirachi, then you gotta do part 5. Oh, you gotta do part 5 of Jirachi, yeah. So once you get to part 5 of Jirachi, you can unlock Victini. They really want you to play this game. Alright, Keldeo. Keldeo is available in Sword and Shield after you catch Virizion, Terrakion, and Cobalion in the Crown Tundra DLC. Keldeo is also a special one because you can get it shiny by completing the Sword and Shield and its DLC Pokedexes in Pokemon Home. So if you register every Pokemon that's native to Sword and Shield in Pokemon Home, including the DLCs, then you will get a shiny Keldeo. I also made a video on how to do this if you don't have anyone to trade with and you only have one version of the game. I'll leave a link to that in the description of this video. It is also available in the Legends ZA Mega Dimension via Special Scan. Keldeo in Special Scans not shiny huntable. So the only way to get the shiny right now is through completing the Sword and Shield dexes in Pokemon Home. Meloetta. So Meloetta is an interesting one. It's available in the Scarlet and Violet Blueberry Academy DLC, and the way to get it was like actually really interesting because no one knew how to get it for like the first couple of days until we finally found it. If you come to this area right here in the Blueberry Academy, spin around. I think it's if you spin counterclockwise for 10 seconds, stop, open up your camera, and turn on the sepia filter, then Meloetta will spawn. I don't know, I think that's really cool. Just like Keldeo, shiny Meloetta is also a Pokemon Home Dex completion reward for Scarlet and Violet. So if you register every Pokemon from Scarlet and Violet and its DLCs to Pokemon Home, then you will be rewarded with a shiny Meloetta. Yay. It's also available in Pokemon Go through the Finding Your Voice special research. Again, pretty sure this is one that you can unlock right off the bat, like day one Pokemon Go player. Like you can make a brand new account right now and you'll have access to this special research. Meloetta is also available in the Legends ZA Mega Dimension DLC via special scan. So again, like Keldeo, it's not shiny huntable. So the only way to get a shiny right now is by doing the Pokemon Home Dex thing. Our last one for the 5th generation is going to be Genesect. Genesect, like I said, this weekend is going to be available in raids. Genesect also, like Deoxys, is kind of like rotated in and out of Pokemon Go raids. So if you don't get it this weekend, chances are it'll be back sometime soon. It's also available in the Mega Dimension DLC. So after talking to this guy here, after beating the main story, if you buy all the drives from this guy and then tell him you have all the drives, then you'll go encounter and catch Genesect. You can get Diancie in Pokemon Go by completing the Glitz and Glam research. Again, I'm pretty sure that's one that you can unlock like right off the bat. You can also get Diancie as a mystery gift in the Shine Bright Like a Gemstone side quest. After finishing the main story in ZA, then you can access this mystery gift and get yourself a Diancie and its Mega Stone. And if you are a Pokemon Go player and purchased the ticket for this past Kalos tour, then you automatically have access to the Masterworks special research that will reward you with a shiny Diancie. This is the only way to get shiny Diancie right now. All right, next up we have Hoopa. Hoopa is available right now at the end of the Mega Dimension DLC. You have to finish the main story to unlock it, but it's there. Hoopa also does love making Pokemon Go appearances. You know what else is available in the Mega Dimension DLC? Volcanion. Volcanion, again, after you beat the main story in the Mega Dimension DLC, you can access Volcanion. Talk to this woman here in the lab, and then bam, there you go. Okay, that was Gen 6. Let's go on to Gen 7. Next up, we have Magearna. Magearna can be obtained through some different methods. If you have Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, and Pokemon Bank, obviously, you can scan this QR code right here. This QR code actually still works. It literally just gives you Magearna. That's it. No strings attached. It just gives you a Magearna. The Pokeball form of Magearna is also a reward for completing the National Dex in Pokemon Home, but Magearna is also available in Pokemon Legends ZA. After you beat the main story in the Mega Dimension DLC, and after completing Vinny's side quest called Mimikyu for My Cutie, which literally you just have to give him a Mimikyu, and then Jet will be like, here's Magearna. And then you have to give Jet 999 Mega Shards, and bam, there you go. Which is actually pretty easy to do if you have all the Canary plushes. Next up, we have Marshadow. Marshadow is obtainable through Pokemon Go by completing the A Striking Shadow. It's also available in the Mega Dimension DLC. This one was cool because it kind of you could only get it at a very certain small amount of time throughout the day. So if you come right here and wait for the shadow from the tower to reach this area, you can investigate it, and then that will spawn Marshadow. Next is Zeraora. Zeraora is also available in the Mega Dimension DLC. After completing the DLC main story, you can talk to this kid on the roof. He's going to give you the recipe for a, I don't remember what it's called, some thunderclap donut or something. Then you can take the recipe to Ansha, you make the donut, and then that'll begin the quest to start an encounter with Zeraora and its Mega Evolution. It will be a Rogue Mega, and honestly, the fight was kind of hard. So be prepared for that. It is also announced days ago, prior to me recording this video, that Zeraora will be available during Pokemon Go Fest 2026. So this year, for Pokemon Go Fest, you will be able to get Zeraora. I don't know if it's gonna be like one of those things where like you know, do a special research after the event, or if you could do it during the event, but you will be able to get Zeraora starting with Pokemon Go Fest 2026. Meltan! You can get Meltan a couple of ways. First is by connecting your Pokemon Go account to your Nintendo Switch. After connecting your Pokemon Go account to your Switch, you get access to the Mystery Box. You can then use this Mystery Box to spawn Meltan in Pokemon Go. Then you can catch it, and then you can transfer it into home from Go. They also do run events. I don't know if Meltan is like permanently shiny huntable in Pokemon Go right now. I do know they used to have events where it was temporarily shiny. I'm not sure if they still have those events or if it's like permanently shiny. Speaking of shiny Meltan, you can also get a shiny Meltan by completing the Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee Dexes in Pokemon Home. So kind of like the Keldeo and the Meloetta. It's also available in the Mega Dimension DLC. You literally just like talk to this woman and she's like, here you go. To get Meltan's evolved form Melmetal, obviously you can just evolve it in Go and then transfer it into Home. If you transfer any Pokemon to Go, you'll actually be gifted a Melmetal. So really all you have to do is transfer Meltan to Home and then you get Melmetal. This Melmetal that you get from Home is also the only Melmetal that is capable of Gigantamaxing. You can also get Melmetal in Pokemon Go. Once you get the Gold Kanto Medal, you unlock the Let's Go Meltan research. So complete this special research, and then you'll be able to encounter a Melmetal. But I think the Switch linking to Pokemon Go thing, it's a lot quicker, a lot easier that way too. Melmetal is also available in the DLC. You don't actually evolve Meltan in the DLC. You just get a Melmetal. Like you get a Meltan, and then you get a Melmetal. Pretty much like back to back too. So those two are pretty easy to get if you have Legends ZA. Alright, next up we have Pecharunt. Pecharunt is only available in Scarlet and Violet. It came out in Scarlet and Violet. The only way to get it is by completing the base Scarlet and Violet story, the Kitakami story, and the Blueberry Academy story. After you do those 3 stories, you'll be able to access the mythical Pecha Berry mystery gift. Claim this gift, go to Masui Town in Kitakami, and then you'll be able to encounter Pecharunt that way. This is going to unlock the epilogue of the story. So this is like kind of like the post game after the DLCs are done. All right, you're probably thinking, where's Zarude? You didn't say anything about Zarude. Get your fingers off the keyboard. Okay, so Zarude technically is not obtainable right now. It was available in Sword and Shield and in Pokemon Go, but they are no longer available anymore. So there are a few ways we could still get Zarude. Zarude, if you want a Zarude, you can go to eBay and buy one. That's a thing that you can do. If you don't want to spend money on Zarude, I don't blame you. It's Zarude after all. I'm going to leave a link in the description of this video, and it's going to lead to this video, how to get Event Zarude and Data Zarude in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So pretty much, this is by Optimism 247. Pretty much what he does here is we use a trade bot. So you catch a Pokemon, you nickname it to whatever you want, and then you send it off in a trade through like a specific trade code. And the bot will just like automatically trade you whatever you want, whatever you're looking for. That's more or less the gist of it. But I'm going to put he has like the codes in the description of his video, so I'll leave a link to that in this video. So go watch that if you desperately need a Zarude. Let me know in the comments, what is your favorite mythical Pokemon? Thank you so much for watching. Love you. Bye.